Hey, you! Wait a minute! I want to talk to you.
Stay away from me.
Come here, just witness. Bruce!
That's right. I know your name's Bruce Dreyfus, but it's all right. I'm not here to hurt you. Will you listen to me, please? I swear, I'm not going to hurt you.
How can you say that? You see, I know who you are too, Brock Lombard. You're the man who murdered my entire family a year ago last September.
I am only here to warn you. You've been spotted. You're in danger from your father's enemies if you don't stay out at the castle and out of Oakdale.
What kind of lie is that?
This is no lie.
You see, my father told me about you. He warned me to run as fast as I can. The next day, I read in the newspaper that my entire family was dead. It didn't say who did it, but I knew that you and your goons murdered my entire family!
Okay. I can't do anything about that now. All I can do is try to help you.
How? Can you bring back my father and mother? What about my brothers and my sister?
No, son, I can't. I sincerely wish I could. What I can do is make sure that you're safe. Now, look, I've known who you are and where you were for several weeks now, and you're still here. That should tell you one thing. I'm not out to get you. You need my help.
I'll never trust you, murderer! Do you understand? You killed everything I ever loved. Sometimes I wish I was dead. Dead. But I promised my father that I would survive. And I will.
Hey, Al. Thought you might be out. Brought you some coffee.
Yeah, I've been up all night. No.
From what I heard, it sounded like it. Have something to do with Brock? Ellie, what are you doing? You've got to get Brock out of your life once and for all.
I can't, Caleb. And that's what scares me.
Well, have them call me if they do get in touch, will you, Teresa? Thank you. And give my best to your family. More lies. My son may play games with his woman, but when those games affect my grandchildren, he has gone too far.
They're not in Italy with Teresa?
No. She did not know what I was talking about. So the time has come, Lloyd. It's time to teach my son what happens to those who fail to respect the values and traditions this family has survived on.
As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by the Formula 44 family of cough medicines from Vicks.
Ellie, what is going on? You've never kept anything from me before. Don't start now.
It's very complicated. Brock and I have a bond. I cannot explain it.
Would it be there if Craig was still in your life? Brock has just taken advantage of you because you're so vulnerable.
No, that is not true. He's done everything to look after me since Craig left.
That's just what he wants you to think, Ellie. The man is a user. That's the way he's always been, and that's the way he will always be.
Well, he's changed.
I saw the ring that Emily was showing off in front of everybody at Duncan and Shannon's. It was everything I could do just to keep from telling everybody and telling her what kind of man she was
Emily
marrying.
knows about the family.
I don't believe that, Ellie.
Well, it's true.
Look, after everything she went through with James Stenbeck, why would she pick another snake?
Brock deserves a second chance, and I'm afraid that he's not gonna get it.
Why should he, Ellie? Now, he may have been born into a family full of criminals, but he didn't think twice when he killed that
Well,
family
he's
in
trying to
Indiana.
make up for it right now.
Yeah, well, you can't make up for murder.
I believe that Brock deserves a second chance with Emily, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure he gets it.
Ellie, you know I would do anything for you. And I'll stick by you no matter what, you know that. But Brock is heading for disaster. And I'm scared to death that he's gonna take you down with him.
Yeah, it scares me too.
Well, I slept like a baby last night, even knowing that the hearing was today. I guess I feel really safe having you here. How'd you sleep?
Fine. I was thinking a lot about the plans for our great escape. I don't want to leave anything to chance.
Okay, but how about this one? What if, the judge sentences me to a prison term?
Well, then we'll just save the citizens of Illinois a couple of dollars on your room and board. I've transferred some rather large sums of money into a local account and set it up so that we'll always be able to get as much money as we'll possibly need. I've got new identities and passports, the works, so if the worst comes, I can walk you out of the courthouse and onto an airplane before anybody will even know we're gone.
You know, all I ever wanted was for all these lies to stop, and now it's just happening all over again. I can't even tell the people that I care about how I feel about them, or that I may never see them again.
I know how you feel. We're gonna make it work, right?
Yeah.
Just you and me?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go take a shower and I'll make us some breakfast. What do you say?
Do I say?
Yeah, what do you say?
I say I wanted you to take a shower with me.
Ooh, I like that idea. Oh, no, it must be the electricity in the air. It's not really the telephone. No, please. No, don't go.
Hello.
Hello, Emily. It's Philip Lombard. I just wanted to wish you well for the hearing today.
Thank you, Mr. Lombard.
Is my son there by any chance?
Yeah, hold on.
Yes, Papa.
Happy New Year. Your mother and I missed you and the children yesterday.
Well, I missed you and Mama, too.
Say, I wonder if tonight is a good night for that dinner we discussed. Your mother is very eager to meet Emily.
Well, I'm not really certain about that. Emily has the hearing today.
Well, I'm sure it'll turn out well. We'll make it a celebration.
Well, I'm all for that line of thought. All right, you know where Emily's condo is. Why don't you come by here for a drink, and then we'll go on to dinner from here.
Sounds fine. Say, Brock, have you heard from Marjorie?
Yes, I did. She called me yesterday so that the kids could wish me a Happy New Year. They're having such a wonderful time with Teresa on this journey they've been taking. They've decided to extend it for a while. She said she was going to call her folks and you and Mama. Didn't she call?
Not yet. I hope she will. I know the Marinos would like to hear from Greg and Denise as much as your mother and I would.
Well, I miss them too, Papa, but I think this trip's a wonderful opportunity. Listen, so we'll see you tonight?
Great. We'll see you then. I want you to line up the best men we have and turn this world over until they find my grandchildren.
Excuse me, Philip. I just wondered where you'd like to have breakfast this morning. Good morning, Lloyd.
Good morning, Mrs. Lombard.
I'll just have coffee and juice. We have important things to do today. Lloyd, would you make those calls we talked about?
Right away.
Say, I just talked to Brock, and we're having dinner with Emily tonight.
I'm anxious to meet this young woman Brock is so fond of.
Yes, I'm wondering what your impression will be. But before that, how would you like to drive up to Wisconsin? I need to talk to Marjorie's father this morning.
I'd love to. I don't want us to lose Esther and Frank's friendship along with everything else.
Good. Run along, finish getting ready, and I'll get my own coffee.
20 minutes?
I'm a lucky man.
I made a start.
My son has forced my hand, Lloyd. See that those tapes from Brock's suite are edited the way that we discussed. I want to hear them when I come back.
They'll be here, Philip.
Lloyd, I want you to know how much I appreciate your loyalty. You're more a son to me than my own flesh and blood. I know I can count on you.
I'll be there for you, Philip.
So the judge has agreed to a closed hearing. That may keep the press at bay.
Yeah.
All we need for you is to be there and answer any questions asked you as honestly as possible.
Great. Then there'll be no problem.
Terrific.
I'll see you at noon.
All right.
Hi.
Hi,
How are
Paul.
you?
Hi, come on in.
Jessica, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Ambrose.
Morning, Jessica.
All I need is your certified check and your signature on these papers. Ambrose, I'm sure you'll want to look them over.
Mm-hmm.
Lily, I hope you understand why Emily insisted on the clause that you can't transfer your share to your mother or Tonio Reyes.
Of course. She doesn't want Craig's business going to either one of them. Don't worry, Lucinda doesn't even know I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay, I am curious, though. Since you have decided to plunge into the world of big business, why didn't you consider Walsh?
Because my main purpose is to protect Craig and Sierra's interests. Besides, I already have stock in my mother's company. I want something I can develop on my own.
Well, impeccable work as usual, Jessica.
Well, Ambrose, considering the source, that's a real compliment.
If I may interrupt the Mutual Admiration Society, here's the certified check made out to Emily.
Very good, and I'll just need your signature here. And Emily's partnership in Montgomery and Associates is yours. Is there a problem?
No, not at all. I just want to savor the moment. This is a big step for me.
So your grandmother called, and she said she felt much better knowing that Brock was going to be at the hearing.
Well, Brock actually won't be there.
Oh, really? Why not?
Because he's going to be doing some work on our new life together, which is what I've been doing. You know, I sold my part of M&A to Lily Walsh.
What? What is going on?
Well, I don't want anything to interfere in my new life with Brock, so... Hey, have I thanked you for always being there for me and helping me through all this stuff? You know, I really love you, Mom.
Where did that come from? Sounds like you're trying to say goodbye.
You! Special delivery. One receipt
Hey.
assistant, possibly overqualified.
Definitely inexperienced.
Glad to see you. Welcome.
Just see the way Duke outfitted his van for me. Everything a peripatetic quadriplegic could want.
I'm gonna run. I'll talk to you later, Mom.
Okay.
Casey.
See ya.
Duke. Bye. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I guess I'll see you in court.
I wish I could tell you I felt I had another choice.
I know. You didn't congratulate me on my engagement.
Yeah, I wish you all the best. I mean that.
Thanks. See you later.
Sure.
Well, I've got to punch in, so if you need anything, you let me know, all right?
And Margot wants you to know she's just a phone call away.
Well, between the hospital staff, the DA, the Oakdale Police Department, what could possibly go wrong? Go wrong.
Oh,
Go wrong.
Nothing.
Duke, you can take off, too.
No way, man. Come on. Today's my day off. Len's all tied up at Fashions. I figured I could hang out here and get a leg up my fellow pre-med students. Look, you gonna mind if I pick your brain for a bit while I help out?
I mind. His brain is mine. Casey, I'm counting on you to categorize all this stuff for me, catalog it.
Everybody just cut the bull for a minute here. Why don't we just admit that this is a fantasy that John dreamed up so I can have a paycheck and some medical coverage? You know, I'm all for hiring the handicap, but I can't do anything unless somebody pushes my chair.
Well, then somebody's gonna push it. Look, you know, you are way off base if you think this is some kind of charitable gesture. You've got a fine medical mind and years of training. I mean, you can actually understand the kind of work I'm doing here. Most labs are lucky to get a secretary. Duke is right. You're overqualified. You're a doctor. You can actually pick up one of these reports on monoclonal antibodies and understand what they're talking about. Do you know how great that is for me? You can organize it in a computer and maybe point me in a new direction. What I need, Casey, is an equal partner in this lab. And if that's unacceptable to you, you better tell me right now.
So, let's just get started, huh?
You know, I'd applaud if I could, Susan. That was a terrific pep talk, but the truth is, you'd be better off with a secretary. How am I going to operate this thing?
I took computer science in high school. I'll help you figure it out.
Oh, come on, get real. I may have some useful knowledge in my head, but I can't get my body into this stupid machine.
Susan, I thought my pop ordered some specialized equipment.
He did. It's a voice-activated computer that works with our software program here.
Great. And you can bop around in a motorized wheelchair. I'm sure old Lucy won't mind picking up the tab.
I can't believe that Rex Whitmore would authorize the purchase of a voice-activated computer when he could perfectly well find somebody with working hands.
Could we get to work? Does anybody mind? Casey, I have some light reading for you here. Recent developments in the growth of monoclonal antibodies in plant protein. It has some application to the work we do here. I would like you to read this and summarize it, please.
Well, I'd be glad to if I could figure out how to hold it.
That's easy. I'll just rig up as some sort of specialized reading stand. You know, I might learn something myself.
Well, that's great, too, if you're available every day that I work.
Look, we'll hire a candy striper. We'll get her to help out until we get the right equipment. Excuse me.
Okay. Dude, I'm never gonna master this thing.
No problem. It's easy, man. Sure you will. A piece of cake. I took computer science in high school. You know, I can revise anyone's work schedule here at Memorial for the right price.
Excuse me, guys. I have to go see Rex for a second.
Great, great. That'll give us time to work out a routine here.
Right. Listen, Casey, try to make this work, okay?
Sure.
I'm counting on you.
Okay, I'll be back in 1 sec. Find something to rig up for a reader stand.
All right.
Well, hi.
Yeah, I thought you were on duty.
Well, I am, but I just came by to see you, see how you're doing.
I thought we discussed this before I left the house. If I take this job, I have to do it on my own. Now, when you're here, your responsibility is to your patients.
I know that.
And I'm your husband. I'm not your patient.
Excuse the interruption, Mr. Pryor. It's been a little hectic around here with Emily out of the office.
Yes, I heard about that hearing.
Yes, well, I promise you it will not interfere with our working relationship anyway. I can't believe a judge is going to do anything except give her a small rap in the knuckles.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I have decided to sign with your office.
Well, that's outstanding. What a great way to bring in the new year. You haven't made the wrong choice, I guarantee you.
Well, I like your enthusiasm, and I was impressed with Miss Stewart. But I have to admit I'm a little concerned about her status with the company. I saw her at a party the other evening with Mr. Lombard, and I heard they're getting married soon.
Well, I don't think she'll be letting go of the company just yet. She does own half of it,
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, good. Let's be in touch about a contract soon.
Excellent. We'll be talking very soon,
All
Mr.
right.
Pryor. All right, you have a good day.
We'll see you.
Yes!
What happened?
We have just signed a new client, the first one since Craig left the company. And boy, is this going to bolster our credibility. I can't wait to tell Emily. I must admit she had a lot to do with it. Why am I telling you this? Business bores the hell out of you.
Oh, well, not at all. Actually, I'm just as excited as you are, especially since now I'm a full partner here.
Did you buy Craig's partnership?
No. Emily's. Aren't you going to welcome me aboard? Thanks for giving me a ride, Caleb.
Hey, no sweat. Not much going on in the farm in January. Tell Tell you what else I can do. I can go to the garage, pick up your sports car, and bring it to you. You can resume your normal grand style.
No, that's okay. You don't have to do that.
Why not?
Well, you know, they got all that salt and sand on the street. It ruins the paint job.
You serious? They're gonna start charging you storage, Ellie. You afraid to drive your car? Is there something that happened in that accident that I don't know about?
Caleb, you know what happened in the accident? I was upset about Craig, and I lost control of the car.
You look at me. Now, I know that you're a threat to the Lombard family because of what happened in Indiana. Now, did they do something to your car?
You're being really silly.
I don't think so, Ellie. If you think you can avoid them by leaving your car in the garage, you're wrong. Maybe I should go to the police and tell them exactly.
No, you're not going to go to the police. You're going to forget everything that I told you, because if you make trouble, people we care about are going to get hurt.
Morning, kid.
Oh, hi.
Happy New Year, Caleb.
We'll talk about this later, okay?
Caleb, I know you're kind of friendly with Lily Walsh. Just wondering what you think about her becoming a businesswoman.
I don't know what you're talking about, Brock.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you would have known. She's offered to buy Emily's shares in Montgomery and Associates.
I find that hard to believe, Brock. I'll pick you up after work, okay?
Okay.
How much does he know?
Nothing. You told Emily about Indiana?
I tried. I couldn't. Still trying to make some sense of it myself.
Brock, if she's cleared this afternoon, you guys can make a clean break and get away.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I'm not so sure anymore.
What do you mean?
Can't just run away, Ellie.
Why not?
Because the danger doesn't stop when I go. My father's gonna hunt down Hey-You. He'll never leave you alone. He won't stop looking for my kids or me until every possible threat to his power is stifled. And it's beginning to look like the only possible way I can end all the bloodshed that might happen is if I turn state's evidence and send my father and all his associates to prison for the rest of their lives.
We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now, part 2 of As the World Turns.
Have you thought this through? Once you do this, you cannot turn back.
Maybe it's the only way I can think of to save the people that I love.
Oh, you think we're gonna be safe when your dad's behind bars? You think that's gonna help? Him and his men and his friends are gonna take revenge, and you are gonna be the prime target?
Well, better me than you.
If you turn state's evidence, Brock, you could go to prison.
Good. Maybe that's what ought to happen, you know, because I think I got a hell of a lot to be repentant about. Did you ever think about that?
No.
What?
No, I haven't. You've worked very hard to try to change, and you and Emily have to succeed.
Emily. Yeah. Well, maybe I can make a deal. I know that Tom Hughes has done some work with Joe Bailey, the head of the National Crime Commission. Maybe if I tell them everything they want to know, they'll set Emily and me up in a national, federal witness relocation program.
What kind of life is that,
I don't
Brock?
know. It's going to be better than knowing I saved myself at the expense of you, my ex-wife, my kids, and hey, you, and God knows how many other people.
Safe, aren't they safe?
I don't know if they'll ever be safe. As long as my father has power, he is going to hunt out anybody he can that's a threat to him, including my kids. I don't know if they'll ever be safe.
Can you send your father to prison?
I don't know. I love him. And I hate what he stands for. And more than any of that, I'm concerned about my mom. This will tear the family apart, and that'll just break her heart.
This is a horrible decision, and I wish that I could help you, but I can't.
Thanks for wanting to help. That's enough.
Brock, you're gonna have to share this problem with Emily. She's gonna have to make this decision with you.
Honey, this is a wonderful surprise.
I was so glad Philip thought about it. We missed you over the holidays, Esther. Have you heard from Marjorie?
No. Gee, I was so sure she'd call Christmas or New Year's. I only hope she forgot because she's having such a good time.
Esther, why don't you take Connie into the kitchen? Otherwise, Philip and I won't get a word in edgewise.
Oh, you boys are so shy. Come on, Connie. I want to show you how my Christmas cactus is blossomed.
I know this isn't a social call, Philip.
That's right, Frank. We have to talk about your daughter and my grandchildren. I talked to Teresa Simone. Marjorie and the children were never in Rome.
I don't understand.
I think you do. Marjorie's obviously taken the children. She doesn't want anyone to find them.
Oh, Marjorie would never do that. There has to be another explanation.
You've known all along, haven't you, Frank?
No, of course not. I wondered why we hadn't heard from them, but I've been in shock since Marjorie and Brock deceived us about the divorce.
We have to face the facts. Marjorie isn't coming back.
Well, if that's true, it was Brock's idea. I raised my daughter to respect the family and all it stands for.
Frank, you've been much too lenient with our children. They had it far too easily growing up. They never understood the struggle it took to make the Lombards a power to be reckoned with. They don't comprehend our values. If they did, they wouldn't turn their backs and betray everything I have worked for.
I'm sure it's not too late to bring them back.
Well, they put the whole family in jeopardy. Our enemies perceive us as weak and ineffective. We can't even control our own children. They're going to use this opportunity to attack. We can't let that happen, Frank. We have to close rank.
I'll get on it right away, Philip. I'll find Marjorie and the children, bring them back home, and...
That won't be necessary, Frank. I've already put a man on it I can trust.
Philip, you can't.
At this point, I have to trust the instincts that have gotten me through every catastrophe you can imagine.
I've been with you from the start.
I'm grateful for your loyalty, Frank. At this point, we have to wait till this situation is rectified.
Of course, I'll give up my role in the family business.
I think that's best. I'm glad you understand.
Your Honor, you were present when Miss Stewart lied about her relationship to the defendant in a trial that she was testifying in, and the content and authorship of some letters which were later destroyed by the defendant and Miss Stewart after James Stenbeck was shot. The law is clear, the offense indisputable. The people ask that Miss Stewart be sentenced in accordance with the seriousness of her crime. Thank you.
Ms. Griffin, do you intend to put forward any reasons why I should be lenient with your client?
I do, Your Honor. I must point out that, by definition, perjury requires a deliberate attempt to alter the outcome of the trial. Miss Stewart may have obscured the motives of the victim for the attack on her, but she in no way maliciously attempted to alter the jury's verdict. In fact, her naive attempt to protect Paul's honor and reputation may have actually weakened his defense.
That's a point well taken, Miss Griffin. But I would like a fuller accounting of Miss Stewart's motives.
She is here to explain for herself, and Mr. Ryan is here to corroborate her testimony.
Ryan.
Yes, Your Honor. Since I last saw you, I've taken my mother's maiden name.
I see. Well, since sentencing is the sole issue before us, I'll take the liberty of conducting the questioning myself unless there's objection from counsel. Very well. Bailiff, swear them in, please.
I address you both, Emily Stewart and Paul Ryan. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do. Be seated.
Miss Stewart, why did you lie about the letters and the sexual relationship with Mr. that is, Mr. Ryan?
Your Honor, I believe that I explained the nature of my relationship with Paul at the trial. Paul and I were very close, and we've always had a very special bond between us because of the things that we experienced being involved with his father. We always looked to each other for comfort and support and mutual protection. On the one occasion that we slept together, we both suffered a painful rejection because of the connection with his father. The intensity of our feelings went further than we expected. After it happened, we realized that no one would ever understand. And after trying to live down my reputation of being James Stenbeck's mistress for so long, I knew how cruel and unfair people could be and what they would say about Paul if they found out. So we promised to keep it a secret. It was after that Paul started to write me letters. And we discussed his feelings. We both knew that what had happened could never happen again.
Why not?
Well, because I'm in love with another man. And because I suspected Paul's feelings for me. And I valued his friendship so very much, I invited him to dinner that night so we could talk about everything and I could return his letters to him. Unfortunately, James found the letters first when he entered my apartment. And after the shooting, we both knew that even though people might accept the fact that Paul pulled the trigger to save my life, no one would ever accept the fact that he slept with his father's mistress. He would have to live that down for the rest of his life. That's why I insisted that we destroy those letters before the police ever got there, and why we keep it a secret.
Who were you really protecting, Miss Stewart? Paul or yourself?
Well, I can't deny that I was worried about my own reputation. But it was Paul's future at stake. And he was truly my very first consideration.
Thank you. Mr. Ryan, I have only one question for you, and I remind you you're under oath. Do you think Miss Stewart perjured herself to spare you or herself?
She did it for me, Your Honor.
Yeah, it has been one hell of a morning. Listen, Franny, are you free for dinner? I would love to talk. No, it's a little too complicated to tell over the phone. Great. Great. Okay, I'll see you then. All right, bye-bye.
Sean, excuse me, but I've just been going over the client list, and I've got a million questions.
Yeah, I got a few questions myself. Like, what is it that possessed you to buy M&A? Why is it you bought Emily's shares instead of Craig's? And what role do you plan to have in this operation? Little things like that.
Well, mostly, I wanted to protect Craig and Sierra's interests. And I bought Emily's piece of the action because I was afraid that if she was sentenced to jail, she might panic and sell to somebody that you couldn't work well with.
So where's that leave me?
I've talked with Craig, and he said he'll give you plenty of time to raise the money to buy out his share. I won't buy it out from under you.
In the meantime, what? What? It's a one-man operation? Is that it? Lily, you have no experience in management consulting.
No, but I have a lot of good ideas, and I have a good relationship with clients like BRO, Strickco, and Lawrence Industries. And I have a good idea about who to bring in to help you.
Come on in. Excuse me.
Oh, hi, Caleb.
Hey, Sean. Well, it's, must be true then. You bought out Emily's partnership.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. But why? You hate business.
Not all business, just my mother's. Actually, I bought into M&A for Craig, but I'm intrigued with the idea of taking an active interest in it. I know Sean could teach me a lot. You know, I may even move into Emily's office and take up regular business hours.
Well, I know there are going to be a lot of surprise people at the farm.
Well, Iva and Emma, I know, but I think my grandfathers will be pleased.
Well, why don't you come on out to dinner? Tell us all about it.
Well, actually, I was hoping that Sean would give me a crash course in M&A's operations and financial status.
Perhaps tomorrow. I'm having dinner with Franny this evening.
Well, you know, if we're going to work together, it's important to get off to a flying start. I'm sure Franny would understand if you had to postpone.
All right. Maybe it is a good idea to figure out exactly what's going on. Just let me call her and see what she says.
Okay, so what's the difference between a computer and a woman?
A computer comes with a manual.
You've heard that one too. All right, well, I got a million more of them. All right, here's the index. Which file do you want?
I think I should do some reading first. I haven't kept up with the medical journals, and I don't know squat about monoclonal antibodies.
Yeah? Well, it's fascinating stuff.
How's that? A pre-med student who does advanced research keeps up with it?
Well, I heard my papa and Susan talking about it, did some reading myself on it, not like I understood everything I read.
Well, you're not alone there.
Already? This is great. I heard you were back.
Oh, hi, Jordan.
Sorry, wasn't thinking. Looking good, man.
Yeah, how's it going?
Couldn't be better. Remember last year you and I were finishing up our residency? I never would have figured that I'd be the one to end up on the surgical team, huh? This GBS was a tough break for you, but hey, at least you're keeping busy.
Oh, yeah. It's a real rat race here.
This will be great to have you around. You can give me some pointers when I get in over my head, huh? Like old times?
Yeah, sure, Jordan, just like old times. Yeah.
What a bad break, but hey, at least you married a nurse, huh? Listen, the whole staff's really rooting for you. I gotta run. I got a gallbladder or something in pre-op. Listen, I'll stop back later and you and I can have a real rap session, okay? Anything you need, just let me know.
Nice tie.
Bet you can't wait.
What a jerk, huh?
Jerk who's a surgeon.
Okay, hey, let's get back to work, man. Don't want Susan catch us moping.
Yeah, as if it's gonna matter here.
Oh, come on, you're not gonna let a dweeb like Brewster get you down.
Will you just get off of my back? I'm only going for this charade because of John and Lila. I just stop pushing me, okay?
Okay, man. Well, if you're just gonna sit around and you're feeling sorry for yourself, I'm out of here.
Where's Duke?
I drove him away.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I was wading knee-deep in self-pity, and he rightfully called me on it.
Well, I can understand how you feel. I've been indulging in a little of that myself lately.
Yeah, well, I heard a little bit about it. It sounds like you had the right.
No, I didn't. I knew the score going in.
Did you have some kind of fall?
Why do you say that?
I'm noticing the way you move. Looks like you may have some contusions in your lower back.
I see you haven't lost your diagnostic skill.
Well, were you x-rayed?
Yes, Dr. Henley took care of it.
Is anybody following up on it? Looks like you need something for muscle spasms.
Casey, I'm an alcoholic. I have to be very careful about that. I don't want to get too dependent on anything. Excuse me. It's my lunch break. Hi, Lila. Think I can share it with my husband? Sure.
Hey.
I'm going to work in the other room.
All right.
Well, everybody's been asking for you. You all want to come up and say hello?
Great. Listen, could you hold them off for a little while while I get settled in here?
Sure. So, how's it going?
Not bad. I'm not setting any land speed records, but I think I'll be able to help Susan once I get the right equipment.
Oh, good.
Listen, if you see Duke, could you tell him I could use his help again?
Sure.
All rise.
Be seated, please.
Your Honor, may Mr. Lombard remain in the room?
I have no objection. Miss Stewart, perjury is a crime not to be taken lightly. After reviewing the transcript of your testimony and listening to the testimony today from you and Mr. Ryan, I have decided to sentence you to 2 years probation. I will also impose a fine of $5,000 plus 300 hours of community service, to be determined by the court. Our business here today is now concluded. Thank you all very much. This hearing stands adjourned.
All rise.
Satisfied?
I think it's quite fair.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I just hope the rest of our plans go half as well as this.
I'm calling because I'm worried about Frank. Connie, he's been locked in his den ever since you and Philip left. Do you have any idea what they were talking about?
I haven't a clue. Well, I assume it was business, but I learned a long time ago not to ask about that.
Well, I suppose there's nothing left to do but bake. That always makes me feel better when I'm nervous.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Well, you enjoy your dinner with Brock tonight. And Connie, tell him we'll always think of him as our son.
I will, Esther. I'm glad you understand. I don't know that I understand myself, but I'm trying. I'll see you next week at the charity luncheon. You too. Bye.
Connie, hadn't we better get ready for our trip to Oakdale? Hey, wear the pearls I gave you for Christmas. So, Lucas, have you made the arrangements we discussed?
It's all set. If Miss Stewart isn't sentenced to prison, she'll have a nice surprise waiting for her in Grand Rapids.
And Lloyd has set the search in motion to find my grandchildren. It's only a matter of time till that's taken care of.
I'm also going ahead with your plan for Ellie Snyder.
Excellent, Lucas. It's time our enemies learned we will not tolerate any threat to the well-being or future of our family.
Frank, lunch is ready. Frank! Frank, please open the door. Frank, I'm sorry. I just can't... Frank!